Tell Cockerel, he's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell Cockerel, leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell Cockerel, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell Cockerel. Jose gets himself around, always talking Spurs wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. Tell Cockerel, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell Cockerel. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong? Every time I play along. Tell Cockerel, the show is so chilled, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell Cockerel. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell Cockerel, the show is so chill, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. Tell Cockerel. Tell.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tell Cockerel, the Week 31 prediction competition results. I hope that each and every one of you are well, whether it's your afternoon, your morning, or your evening. But as I said, I hope that everyone's well. Right, for those that are in the chat at the moment, when I look back, I'm just sitting here watching the intro, and I'm looking at the intro and I'm just thinking to myself, forget the goals, because they're not all worldies, but they're just moments in time. They weren't all worldies that were scored but they were moments in time. God, I'd give for any moments in time at the moment. Bloody hell. I had a mare yesterday, an absolute nightmare. I knew that there was a lot of travel disruption going up yesterday, and there was down from my end already. There was no southern trains going to London at all, so I had to change my mode of transport, and I had to travel up through South Eastern. I got to London Bridge, and then I got on the underground, on the Jubilee line to Stratford. So I'm going, and so I had to go past West Ham. And anyway, we got stopped at the West Ham station on the train because there was points of signal failures at Stratford, which was the very next stop. So a journey that probably takes 25 minutes on the underground took an hour, and then you got to get the overground, and the overground trains are one every, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. But you get an overground to Northumberland Park. I got the overground to Northumberland Park, and then I walked down to the stadium. Didn't have time to go meet anyone, so I just went onto the concourse. I went onto the concourse and I met outside the South Stand. I met Adrian, Kev Clark, and the others, and had a quick chat with them. And it was the briefest of chats. Like, sorry, I'm late, lads, and briefest of chats. And then I went and made my way up to my seat in the West Stand, in Tier 5, in the top level. And for those of you that know Blaine, Blaine gave up his ticket to Ellie, so Ellie was in the same block as me. So I went down, because she was further down in the seats. I went down and saw Ellie at half time and had a chat with her and a cuddle, which was nice. I wasn't there, didn't see any of this fanfare and hurrah. I didn't see any of that at all, because I got there late, so I didn't see that, and that happened hours before I got there. Also, it's very busy when I got to the stadium. The concourse was on fire in the South Stand. All the songs were being sung. All the noise was being made. Then got into my seat, and probably the best atmosphere that we've had all season, to be honest. Best atmosphere we had all season. And that was maintained throughout the whole of the first half. In the second half, it was there, but in patches. Not for the whole sustained period it was in the first half. And then obviously we know what the result was. We know what the score was at the end of the day. For what it's worth, I will turn around and say that for those that didn't see me on Die Hards last night, I thought we huffed and puffed in the first half. I didn't think we were clinical. I don't think we created any clear-cut chances. I just think we huffed and puffed. And we pinned them back. I even said to Ellie at half-time that Van der Ven, for me, I said he looks disinterested, because the first two balls that went out wide to Amari Hutchinson, he absolutely hammered and ripped Van der Ven to pieces in the first two actions that he got. So I wasn't sure whether Van der Ven was interested or not, because he looked to be off the pace. I don't know whether it's because he had to go and play left back. I wasn't sure whether he was injured. I didn't know what happened, but it wasn't the best of first halves for Mickey Van der Ven. He wasn't his commanding self. Just seemed to be off it. We then played Pedro Porro at right midfield, or right of a three, or a right midfielder, right wing, or whatever you want to call it. And it just didn't work. Him and Spence, they don't offer much in that sense, and there wasn't no cohesion between them both. Richarlison, for me, kept looking to play the man rather than play the ball, and therefore was ineffective for the whole of the first half. And then I was sitting down with, I was with Ellie, and I said to Ellie, because my eyesight was probably, I had my glasses on, so my eyesight's probably better than Ellie's, so I'm sure she won't mind me saying that. But then I looked down and I said, look, a doggy's coming on. She goes, what do you mean he's coming on? I said, well, he's got his tracksuit off and he's doing runs on the pitches. Number 13, he's doing his runs on the pitches. No sooner I'd done that, I turned back round and Bergvall was running up and down the pitch. Number 15 had come out and he was running up and down on the pitch doing. So I said to her, it looks like Bergvall and the doggy have been coming on at half time. And then obviously they made the changes, and we looked powder puff in the second half. We looked absolute powder puff compared to what we looked in the first half, where we huffed and puffed. We did pin them back by huffing and puffing, but we did nothing at all in the second half. So I come back away from another trip to London. I come back away with another defeat. Again, another defeat, I say. I come back from London with another defeat. I left the game early. I didn't see the third goal. purely because one, I didn't think we'd get back into the game, but two, because of what they've done with the trains and there was no Weaver line service, it meant that everybody would have funneled back to Northumberland Park. So, and the West Stand, if you know the stadium, you've either got to be in the East Lower in the corner or in the South Stand to walk down to Northumberland. And because I'm in the West Stand, I have to walk all the way down the high road and then back round again. And I just thought to myself, nah, it's too much to get to the station. And I didn't want to be caught up in the mobs and that. So, and then I knew there'd be delays getting back home. So I actually left and didn't see the third goal. But anyway, that's enough about that. Let me say hello to a few of you. Let me say hello to a few of you. Kuba's here. Says, big up Jose and all in the chat. Good afternoon, Kuba. I hope you're well. Daz says, big up Jose and chat. Hope all is well today. Yeah, all good, Daz. All good. Monday's been ticked off. Just got to go and play me football. And then I fully ticked Monday off. Kick-off is at 6 o'clock tonight. So I'm kicking off in just under 2 hours. Drula. Afternoon, Mr. Cockerell and the Cockerell chatters. Hope you are all well. Good afternoon, Drula. My newest mod. I hope you're well. Archer's here, says big up Jose and chat. Good afternoon, Archer. Shem Tam says afternoon, Mr. Bossman. Jose, hope all is well today, sir. It is. I am full of beans. 23rd of March. Where have these 3 months gone? God, that's the first quarter of the year nearly ended. Where is it all gone? Ryan's here, says, good afternoon, Jose. Was just checking the bonus game results. My God, I had an absolute stinker this week. We shall find out. Jesse's here. Good afternoon. The lovely Jess says, big up, Jose. And chat. Good afternoon, Jess. I hope you're well. Who else we got here saying, people talking to each other. Mr. Shear. Cobber, the King Cobber himself is in the house. Good day, Jose Cobber and chat. Good morning to you, or good evening. I'll say good evening because it's not your morning yet. It's not far from it, Mr. Shear. I tried calling you a few days ago, but you didn't pick up, so hopefully you are well, sir. Rob plans here. Rob says, afternoon tell was in the North Lower, left on 80 minutes. I had enough of the BS. Ooh. And then he also says, I missed the bus, got stuck in traffic. Brilliant atmosphere by the fans from start to finish. Basically what I've just said. Are you talking to each other there? Archer said, I was trying to be positive by saying we're winning 2-1. So much for that shower of. And Archer then says, that team selection was a sackable offence. Druder says the exclusives is just in is that Roberto De Zerbi is open to a permanent Tottenham job if the club stay in the Premier League. Ronnie says, big up Jose. I'll comment on that. Ronnie says, big up Jose. Eltel, me Everton mate, says, Eltel, what's going on, lad? I definitely worried for Spurs. Good luck, and an Everton fan. Oh, I'm not sure. Whether luck's needed, you got to make it all yourself, I think, Eltel. Ed M says, good afternoon, Jose and chat. Good afternoon, Ed. I hope you're well. Mr. Shear says, 12:30 a.m. Jose Cobber. Sorry, mate. Can call you up today. 12:30 a.m. It'll have to be. Shit. I'll have to try you tomorrow again. I'll try you tomorrow morning or something, which will be an early evening for you, mate. And I'll go from there. Right, Drew, with the De Zerbi comment, I said last night on Die Hards, when asked a question about Mr. Tudor, I said there is no point changing any managers now because all managers don't want to come in for a 7-game stint. Doesn't matter how much you pay them as a bonus, they don't want to be coming in with a 7-game stint. And, you know, at the end of the day, Tottenham, I don't know whether I really don't know. You guys as well as me don't know what Tottenham do and what they get up to. Because what a normal club should get up to and should do, they don't do. So, you know, it's very difficult to assess what Tottenham are going to do. But you'd like to think that any normal club would have a plan in place. They've already started speaking to intermediaries and they'll have a plan of what they want to do in the summer. You'd have a plan A and a plan B. So plan A for Premier League, plan B if you go down to the Championship. So then what you do is you actually start speaking to intermediaries about players, about managers, about staff, about anything. So therefore you'd like to think that Tottenham have some sort of an idea of what their plan is for a manager for next season. But if you're going to give it now and you're going to give someone a contract now, then you're going to have to give them an 18th month contract, aren't you? But by your comment, De Zerbi saying he'll only come to Tottenham if Tottenham stay up. Well, you know, at the end of the day, he might not be at the front of the queue of what Tottenham are looking for. It's a really difficult one, and I said this last night. It's really difficult because it doesn't, for me personally, no one has to agree with me, but for me personally, on a personal level, I don't see any manager coming in and changing what we've got in 7 games. And the reason for that is because, you know, the managers pick the players, right? The managers pick the players, right? And the players have got to go out and play. And it doesn't matter what players get played, whether it was Tudor that selected the teams, whether Thomas Frank selected the teams, whether Ange Postecoglou selected the teams, whether Antonio Conte selected the teams, and he famously said a lot more, whether Jose Mourinho selected to the teams, and towards Poch's tenure, towards the end of his tenure, the teams that he was picking. It doesn't matter who you pick. If you've got players that, one, don't want to apply themselves, one, they might not be applying themselves, 2, they may not be good enough. And so it doesn't matter who comes in, because you can pick these players, you can pick teams, but if the players ain't going to do it, then it doesn't matter who your manager is. It really doesn't matter who your manager is. And to me, and this is my personal opinion again, I'm not an insider, I don't have insider information, but for the games that I go to, and I've been to most of the games this season at home, I sit there and I watch the teams and I watch the body language and that, and all I can say is I think that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. I think our team are torn. I think the team and the players are torn. I think players have probably had rows in the back, in you know, off the training pitch, in the dressing rooms. I think there's been rows. I think there's players there that just don't give a shit. Honestly, do not give a flying shit of what's going on. And I think there's players there that do care. But you're picking the side to go and play a match for you that probably has players within that 11 that you're picking to go on the pitch, that probably has players that don't care and players that do care. And they're not gelling and they're not playing as one. And, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't bode well. For me, people are going to say you need experience. What experience do we need? What have we got that we need experience for? Are we looking to have experience of players that have been there, seen it and done it? In the sense, in the nice terms, like being and won titles or being and won trophies and that. Are they the kind of players that we're looking like for experience? Or are we looking for experienced players that are ready to roll their sleeves up and fight for the team? What kind of experience are people wanting? Because we lack both. We lack people that are winners in the team, in all honesty. How many people have won trophies in our team? And then if you're looking at players that have been and had scraps like this in the past, we haven't got many that have scrapped in the past and that have come out well from scrapping. So for me, at the end of the day, I would pick, if I was the manager, I would pick the players from the available players, right? Because I see some comments. From the available players, I would pick players that do want to fight for the badge. They might not be as good. They might not have the world of trophies and that. They may not have been involved in relegation dogfights, but they want to play for the badge, because as supporters, we want to see some passion and fight. And I'm afraid to say that what we saw yesterday wasn't passion and fighting. Passion and fighting is not huffing and puffing. Yeah, that's not passion and fighting. Huffing and puffing isn't. Huffing and puffing is, you know, it gets you a certain amount of the way, huffing and puffing, but you've got to be doing a bit more than huff and puff in order to get there. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. Ellie says, hello Jose, it was a miserable result, but great hooking up with so many. But the hugs from yourself and Phil P. Yes, I enjoyed my hug, Ellie. I enjoyed my hug. I always enjoy every time I see you, give you a hug. Rob says, actually Spurs are on about bringing Adolfo Hula in as an interim for the rest of the season. Another don't understand the Prem. Ellie says he hasn't got Scooby, though he will definitely going to relegate us. I think they have a plan to replace Tudor for the last 7 matches only. It's really unfortunate. I said this last night. It's unfortunate that he's had a bereavement in his family, and that's obviously going to take priority, and that comes first. And you know, I wish Tudor and all his family all the very best in these trying times, and my condolences go to them. And you know, I hope they keep the candle burning brightly, and they share at the top of the burning candle. They share the bright memories that they would have had with his loved one. Ronnie says we have to Jose. Tudor's come in and got 1 point for 15. Get Harry and Sherwood in. Tudor's point scoring wasn't that great either. We haven't won 13 games, so it's not. Sorry, Frank. Honestly, Ronnie, you go to the games as well. I think, Ronnie, and I think you do, Ronnie. I think you go to the games as well. And if you're seeing what I'm seeing, if you're seeing what I'm seeing, then you can see it's not the manager. The manager can sometimes the managers make wrong decisions about players that they put into the teams and whatever and selections, but the players still don't do it. So to me, it's the players. To me, it's the players. I don't think a manager changes anything. If the players haven't got within themselves, then we don't do jack. I don't know what they're looking for, Jose. Like I said, they just haven't got any plan that is worth getting on board with. David Shear says, I am gutted. Home match and 3-0. These players are taking the piss. They are, Mr. Shear, they are. Ed M says, won't cure the fragility no matter who comes in or plays. Going to take a pre-season to even have a chance of fixing this mess. Anyone see, I'll let you comment. Has anyone seen the Mikey Moore interview that he had to do after the game for Rangers? And they actually interviewed him for quite a while, and they kept pressing him on the same kind of questions, said in a roundabout different ways, but it's the same kind of questions that they were angling in on. Did anyone see it? Eltar says, them players need to roll up the sleeves up. This is a massive club here, not Morecambe or a small club. It's a massive club, big fan base. Them players need to leave everything on the pitch. It's on them. It certainly is. Adam's here. Good afternoon, Adam, mate. I hope you are well. I know you were at the game, Mister, because I saw your comments last night. Eltar says, Leeds are drawing to safety. They can go. We play you last game of the season. Yep, we certainly do. What kind of dog? That I got a bulldog. No, I've got 2 German shepherds, a brother and a sister. Duba says, yeah, I saw them. Cooper says, I've done debating about the club for now. I'll have a lot to say on what I think is needed when we're relegated. If we want to take the punt on Sherwood, Hoddle, Redknapp or similar, but I don't. Archer says, at least Harry and or Sherwood would play players in the right positions. Just says, smash the lights, that would be good. And she says, up the Leeds. Yeah, MOT, the Leeds. And Queen Ellie says, so the ones I feel will fight are Dragosin, Danso, Paulinho, Gallagher, Gray, Ritchie. I would put in there as well Matthias Tell. I'd put Matthias Tell in there as well. I'd go as far. I'd put in Simmons in there. Every time Simmons plays, comes on the pitch, he tries to do things. He gets involved. He goes into challenges. He's up, down, up, down. I think he wants to fight. So yeah, I'd play him as well. I think he wants to fight. Yeah, you know, but you need 11 fighters, 12 fighters. So but you need 16 fighters because you need your bench to help you out as well. When you know yesterday we huffed and puffed, and then when you need more energy, the people that came on didn't do no huffing and puffing. But yeah, there we go. Adam says, yeah, I was there, loved it pre-match, absolutely gutted by full time. Was getting so frustrated all game. Mickey is so checked out and Solanke is anonymous. Ellie said to me last night, at the game at half time, Elle said to me, Solanke, and I said to her, I think Solanke was, I see Solanke. He wasn't playing the 9 role. He was playing just behind Richie, and I thought that there were some things that he was doing that were really good and really difficult. But he was running around, and I think it was alien to him what they asked him to do yesterday. Solanke playing in the 10 role, which is what they did just off the main striker. It's not something he normally does, is what I felt. But I take it on board. Football is seen, like Ange used to say, football is seen through our own eyes, and what we see through our eyes may be different to what someone sees next with their eyes. So yeah, but I take on board what you were saying. Edem says that he sees Xavi pulling out of challenges and he won't get his head up. I see him getting involved. I see him getting involved there when I've seen him play. When I've seen him play live, so at the stadium, because I don't go to the away games, because I can't get no tickets for it. But when I see him playing in the home games, I see Xavi getting stuck in. I always see him flying in and getting stuck in to challenges. I mean, I think he's got a bit of fire about him. He doesn't shirk, he don't hide. I think he's got a bit of fire about him, but then that's my opinion. You obviously don't share that opinion. You have a different opinion. That's fine. Adam says, I can't believe we don't play Xavi. Absolutely mental. I also struggle to work out our formation. Seems to change mid-game. If it changed mid-game for the better, Adam, I'd understand, but it doesn't seem to change mid-game for any better. Ellie says, yeah, Xavi and Tel, they just need a break, don't they? Yeah, we need more than a break. I would say, if Kulu was fit, Kulu would fight. And I've got to say, Maddison, I think Maddison would fight. I actually think Maddison's the person, one of the senior players that doesn't want to leave the club, I would have thought. I think that he feels that the club have helped him out for his injuries and that he owes the club. You know, you just need more players that are like that. But we don't seem to have enough. But anyway, I digress. Right. Julia says, don't get me started on Solanke. He turned up for one little shot in the 88th minute. The rest of the game, he did FA. Okay, I'm just going to say FA, Drill. I'm going to be kind and just say that you said FA. Right, the business at hand. There's 23 people watching. Only 13 likes. Smash the like button, people. It don't half help. God, we should be getting to at least 20, maybe 30 likes when I've got people dipping in and dipping out. But 24 people watching now. 25 people watching now. And 13 likes. There's something wrong. Ellie says, it's true, Xavi, I agree, Jose. He does get stuck in and he shows commitment. Yeah, and as I said, football's watched. It's interesting because, as I said, Mr. Postecoglou, like him or loathe him, he was very philosophical about the games and about football, and he always is. And he's always said, I watch football through my own eyes. And that's exactly true. We all watch football through our own eyes. And where one will see one thing, somebody else will see something else, and somebody will see something else. And then you form a picture from what you've all seen, because you've not all seen the same thing. You've seen different parts of it. So, yeah, it's interesting. Kuba is sticking up for Jess by saying, big up wifey. I'm sticking with what I said months ago. I think Leeds stay up. They have the stomach for the scrap, for the points. Good on them. Yeah, like I said on last night's show, for me, with Leeds, Leeds play with structure. Leeds play with patterns of play. And that will get them a lot further than most because they do that. If you're organised, you're well organised as well, and you put effort in, it goes a long way. But anyway, right, let me just quickly go before I move on, as that like button improved. Yes, it's improved. 2 more people have liked the stream. Bloody hell. God. It's like getting blood out of a stone. It's like getting blood out of a bloody stone. Right, results, people. And then I've got to ask you questions after the results. Right, first one I'm going to go for. And the reason why I'm going for this, in my WhatsApp group, in the LTL one, all I got was over the weekend 2 people absolutely pummeling it and piping up because they've done well. But the first game that we've got, and if anyone wants interested in playing any of these games, they are in the link in the link for the show. Free of charge to play these ones, the online ones. But look at what's happened here. Look at what's happened here. Oh, dearie, dearie me. What has happened here? Here we go. Let me spotlight it. There we go. The king has been toppled. It has taken 31 weeks. I have been at the top for 30 weeks. We are now in week 31. I now sit in second place. Kevin Clark has bombarded the LTEL WhatsApp group absolutely big time, letting me know that he's gone above me. So he is now a point ahead of me. And then I had our Graham GCTV piping up as well, saying, don't forget, I'm the winner from last year and I'm in the running as well. Because he's closed up, or he thought he closed up, but now I'm 7 points. I'm 7 points in front of Graham. Archer, 213. Shemtam has broken the 200 mark. Jess and Vindaloo sit just shy. And so does Ed M. All just shy of the 200 mark. But yeah, in this game, Kevin Clark and Graham absolutely murdered me. Absolutely. And when I saw Kevin at the game yesterday, I said, it's interesting. People have been quiet as mouses. People haven't said nothing all year. And all of a sudden, two of you come out of the woodworks firing guns at me. Firing guns at me. So, yeah, there we go. So well done to Kevin Clark. That won't be for long. It's where you place at the end of the season. I think you all know that. It's not about where you are now. It's where you are when the final whistle after game 38 in the middle of May. That's what counts. But for now, you can have your flowers. You can have your flowers, Kevin. But well done. Kevin, I don't think Kevin watches the show, but I'm giving you your flowers, Kev. Well done. Won't last long, but well done, mate. Right. There we go. So that's that one. Right. And then you've got... let me just have a look. Coop says, my tactic of going against the grain made me big gains in recent weeks, but the last 2 weeks backfired big time. Oh well. Daz says, I hope Vinder's had a bad week. Ellie is saying, Leeds United, I like watching them play. I haven't enjoyed us in the Premier League at home apart from Burnley and Brentford. That's because they're the only 2 wins we've had, Els, and I've been there for both. Yeah. Ryan G says, I'll restart the Predict the Prem next season. Missed too many weeks on this one. The Predict the Prem is just Premiership games, isn't it? Where we do bonus games. So our league may look different to that. Coop says, I don't care who wins the Predict the Football League. I just want Jess to beat Vindaloo. Fantastic. Ryan G. Big up to Kevin Clark for halting Jose's dominance. Oh, them friendships have gone out the window. Ellie says, you're competitive. I like that, Jose. I'm always competitive. You should see me when I play football. I don't care. Where is Kevin Clark? I never see him in a chat or on his shows. Kevin Clark, Archer, is a guy that works with me, and he also goes on. He's on Spurs Diehards, Kev. He's got like a cat weasel, goatee beard type thing, and his son's Tom, and Tom is as part of the Diehards group as well. But he doesn't do our predictions. He does just the Predict the Prem online one. Right. The next one that we have to go to, that I have to go to quickly is, and I will be quick, is the LTEL Fantasy Football. And I only ever read out the people that have made a move. So if you bear with me, I'll bring this up. I'll show you where you all are if you lot still play. Right. The standings in LTEL Fantasy Football League are as such. Right. So you have Jack XL has got English Spurs. So this was Jack Spurs, who hasn't been in the chat for a few weeks now, for a while. He has gone up into 61st. He's moved with 27 points, which relegates Scott C to the bottom. Then in 54th, you've got Kev Clark. Look, Kevin Clark is in 54th in fantasy. and he scored 46 points, but it went up to 54th. Phil Coyes, this is Phil Barnett, but his name he'd be known as Phil Coyes. He's gone up into 51st with 43 points. And then from the 50th upwards, you've got Jamie Imber, 46th with 39 points. Matty Kay has gone into 45th with 44 points. George has gone into 44th with 36 points. Alfie is up into 42nd with 40 points this week. My good darling wife has gone up into 38th with 50 points this week. Nathan Patiers has gone up to 36th with 58 points this week. Our very own Chris Peters, Chris P as we all know him, with Earn Your Spurs, up to 31st with 62 points. Robbie Clark, our young Robbie, has got, who's from Lily White Hot Spurs, or Lily White Lane. He has got into 27th with 45 points. Tanju is up into 21st with 59 points. Grant, who plays football with me down here, has got into 20th with 50 points. Jess, with her Spanner Army, 45 points this week, has taken her up into 15th place. Our very own Ryan G, he's in the chat, he must be happy. 60 points has taken him to 13th. Just outside the top 10, my lad. Just outside the top 10. Brian has gone up into 11th with 57 points. Sir Rob is in the top 10 with 57 points. Adrian Chia is up to 6th with 55 points. Last year's winner, Ped, who's Graham's boss. Ped's gone up into 5th with 66 points. And the rest of the places above that have remained unaltered. I have a feeling that some people might have played their chips this week, where you can bench boost, you can swap teams with unlimited changes and switch captains and that. But it's become really difficult because the scores on the doors are so weird. There we go. Sorry, it's so weird because the scores on the doors, when you're trying to pick captains and stuff like that, it's difficult because not many teams are in form, you know. So it's been quite difficult to select your teams. I don't know for definite, but I fear that by the time the end of the season comes, the winning margin this season might have been lower than last season because I don't see. Last year you had regular scorers that scored throughout the season. This year you've had peaks and troughs, so it'd be interesting to see what happens. But I think a lot of people use their chips this week. Cooper says, I don't think I've even logged on to my fantasy team since August. Ryan G says, doing decent in FPL now, catching Barry is going to be tough, says Ryan. And he also says, I've got 2 chips left, bench boost and triple captain. So Ryan, you've played some chips. Archer's got 2 chips left. I have all my chips left. I've not used them. I haven't used my chips. I've still got all my chips left. But it's like I said, it's difficult to pick a bench boost, and it's difficult to pick your wild card of who's going to be captain. You know, if you're a triple captain, that it's really, really difficult. Ellie's saying Pep the master and Arteta's the cone man. Right, we're going to come to the part of the show where you tell me all about your predictions. So I'm going to ask the question. I know what the average is, so I've seen what the average is. How many points did you score this week? How many points do you think you scored this week? One number only. I'm not going to say when someone says, I think I got between 4 and 7. 4 and 7 don't matter. You either got one mark or not. Yeah, the blank and double game weeks are confusing, says Archer. Ryan, Ellie says she scored 7. Ellie did not score 7. Ryan says he scored 5. Ryan, you did score 5. Archer says he scored 6. Archer, you did score 6. Jessie's saying that she roasted Vinders last night. Daz says he got 5. Daz, you did not get 5. Edem says he got 6. Edem, you did not score 6. So apart from maybe 2 of you that wrote them all down. I don't know whether the rest of you have written them down or not, because you lot are not correct. Only 2 people are correct so far. I wanted to see whether some more people would guess what they got before I give you the averages, because the averages are interesting. Only 4 people got double figures this week. So this week, how many predictions? We had 22 people predict, and only 4 people got double figures. Drula, yeah, Drula's always spot on. She's an accountant, isn't she, Drula? In her spare time. Drula says she got 9. Drula, you did score 9 points. You did score 9. Anyone else want to hazard a guess what they got? Because the sooner you tell me what you got, the sooner I can tell you what the averages were. Ryan says the average better be low. What did you score, Ryan? Ryan, put it this way. The average is higher than what you scored. Shemtam says 6 if he's lucky. Shemtam obviously doesn't write his scores down. I don't think Shemtam's ever predicted the right amount of numbers that he's ever got. But he says 6. No, I'm afraid you did not score 6, Shemtam, either. Anyone else? I'm waiting for my man Kuva to tell me how many he got. Because Kuva's been giving me stick from Kuva. But Kuva can't tell me what he got. Alright, let me have a look. Right. Okay, let's share what we got then. Let's share what we got. Right, these are your scores on the doors for the week. The average this week. The average this week is 7.72. So 8 and you're above average. So anything from 8 upwards, you're above average. Now, I'm not looking at the chat because I'm going to read the scores out. The first game was Bournemouth 2, Man United 2. And the only person to get the correct prediction and actually go for a draw and get the correct prediction was Shemtam. So he bagged himself a green. Unsurprisingly, you can see there's a big red number at the end of Shemtam on the totals. Shemtam was man of the week. Shemtam was man of the week, but man of the week by a distance. So Shemtam, well done you, sir. The people, so Nita, Sai, Ian, Graham and Alan predicted, but they had already predicted after the Bournemouth Man United, because it's Friday night game, and they predicted their scores on Saturday. But then for Graham and Alan, they also missed the Brighton-Liverpool kickoff. And then, as you can see, the Kitchie versus Eastern game was one of the bonus games that kicked off at 7 in the morning on Saturday. And therefore, Ian, Graham and Alan, although they gave me scores for them games, I couldn't take them because the game had already kicked off. But anyway, game number 2 was Brighton 2, Liverpool 1. And the correct scorelines here came from David Shear and Kuva. Both correctly predicted 2-1s and bagged themselves a green. And there were 2 other people that got a point for predicting a Brighton home victory. Game number 3, Fulham 3, Burnley 1. Correct prediction. Only correct predictor there was Jess and bagged herself a green. Everybody else in orange predicted a Fulham victory and therefore picked up a point. Then we went to Everton 3, Chelsea 0. No one correctly predicted the 3-0 scoreline. But there were 8 people that correctly predicted an Everton victory and therefore bagged themselves a point. The next game ended up being Leeds 0, Brentford 0. And nobody correctly predicted the 0-0. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 people correctly predicted a draw, either a 1 or a 2, and therefore picked up a point because they predicted a draw. Turn up for the books yesterday. Newcastle 1, Sunderland 2. But some people were in the know because Chris Peters correctly predicted that and bagged himself 3 points. And so did Alan. Correctly predicted that and bagged himself 3 points. And then Sai predicted an away win and bagged himself a point. Aston Villa 2, West Ham 0. The only person correctly predicted a 2-0 scoreline was Mr. Ian Meth. Everybody else has got an orange there, predicted a home victory. And unsurprisingly, the only person that predicted Tottenham 0 Forest 3, the only person that went for an away victory, unsurprisingly, was our very own Vinders. Got the point. Only person who scored a point in that game. The next game is between two teams. I can't remember who they were, but it was a 3-2 scoreline. I can't remember these because with this platform that I use, don't have the banners from the previous show. You have to go back into the previous show to get the banners, so you'd have to bear with me. But whatever the scoreline was, 3-2 in this bonus game. Everybody predicted a home victory. Everybody scored 1 point. The next game was 3-1. Correct scorelines came in from Jess and from Ellie and from Nita. 3 ladies. Look at that. 3 ladies correctly predicting the 3-1 victory. But everyone went for a home victory and scored a point. Kitchie versus Easton. I remember their names. It was a 2-1 win for Kitchie. And the correct scoreline came in from Shemtan banging his second green of the weekend. Drula predicted the 2-1. David Shear and Colin B all predicted 2-1. Got themselves 3 points. Everybody else scored 1 point that's in orange. The next game was between Mladolost versus Partizan. And this ended up a 1-1 draw. Nobody predicted any draw of any description. Everyone predicted either a home or an away victory. Therefore, it was a shutout. Nobody scored any points. The next game was between Brocky and Internagogopi. This is a mad long name game. This ended up being 3-4. Absolutely bonkers game at 3-4. And nobody had the correct prediction of 3-4. But 8 people correctly predicted an away victory and bagged themselves a point. And the last one was Matiba versus Young Stars. Another surprising result for me. I thought it was surprising. Matiba, or Matibi, whoever the name is, they scored in the 90th plus 3 minutes, and the 93rd minute they equalised. And they took away my green. I had a green all the way through, and they equalised in the 93rd minute. But the people that correctly predicted the scoreline in this was Shemtan bagging his 3rd correct green of the week. And also Vindaloo and Ellie, well done, also bagged themselves 3 points each for them games. And 3 people put in 2 draws and therefore picked up a point. So your scores on the doors for the week are: Jose scored 8 points, Archer scored 6, Jess double figures, not too shabby, 11, Daz Reynolds 7 points, Shemtan man of the week 15 points. Shem, shout and jump off the rooftops, mate. You've done well. Edem scored 7. Then we have a train. Ronnie, Ryan, and the OG all got 5 each. Drula and Chris P both scored 9 each. Vinders scored 7. Ellie double figures, not too shabby, 10. Mr. Sheer King Cobber 11. Double figures, not too shabby again. Then Colin B scored 7. Kuva scored 8. Scott 7. Nita bounced back. She got 8 this week. 1 last week, 8 this week. So Nita will be happy with the bounce. Sai scored 5. Ian scored 7. Graham scored 4. And Alan scored 9 points. So, with that being said, what are you saying in the chat? Let me see what you're saying in the chat. People are laughing. What the hell? How the hell did this? I do that. Shemtam's asking how he did that. You can't see it. Bloody hell, have I been talking and you couldn't see it? Sorry, can you see it now?
been a lot on the box chat. Teasing you on the edge of the tipping point. Let's go back to the categories. We've got sport and film. Sport or three. Sport 3 is. At the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympics, Team GB athlete Charlotte Worthington won a gold medal in which of the following disciplines? BMX freestyle.
Good evening, Tony. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well. Yeah, we've all been busy, Tone. No issues, no worries, mate. I hope you're well. Glad that I went into yours last night. Look, do you know what? I was reading them out, and I'm reading them, and then all of a sudden you're not telling me you can't see it. Sorry, can you all see it now?
BMX freestyle. Okay, we learn BMX freestyle.
I've read out every result, and now I get told I can't see it because I go to a different screen.
Is the answer BMX freestyle? Yes. First time in parts of the Olympics. Yes.
Ron, sorry, Tony. Hang on a few more minutes, mate, and you'll see about me going to pot. All right, just hang on a few more minutes, and you'll see me going to pot. So look, Shemtam smashed it this week. Shemtam, you started really well on Friday night by getting the correct prediction with Man. You started with your baggy green straight away on Thursday night. You know. See, sorry, you can all see your points now. I was reading them out, but they're all your points. I've read them out, but they're all your points that you scored. What I will say is I don't think the table was affected that greatly. Yeah, there are 4 movers and 1 gold. 4 movers and 1 gold if we look at the league table when I bring it up. So there wasn't that many movers. The points weren't that great that it moved a lot of people. Certainly some people did close up on others. Some people came down on others. Some people missed the predictions and didn't do them. So, yes, Shem, you got 9 points from bonuses. You got 3 green, Shem. Are you happy, Shem? Because I hear you putting little comments here and there and that. And Shem, I saw that I saw when I got home last night from Tottenham and I was adding the Sunday games up. I saw where you were already. And in fact, yesterday you didn't do that well at all. I think you only scored 1 point from the 3 games yesterday. But you'd already done the damage on Saturday. You only added a point from yesterday. In fact, not many people added lots of points yesterday. The person who added the most points yesterday was Chris P. He got 4 points from yesterday's 3 games. So he made a move from 5 points to 9 points. But Shem, you only added 1 point yesterday. You'd done your damage on Saturday. No, the Prem games that you scored, Shem, the Prem games only went up to Tottenham. So yeah, you scored 6 points from Prem games and 9 points from the bonus games. That's correct. Yeah. So you've done well. But all the games, bar the 3 yesterday in the Premiership, all the other games were played on Saturday, even the bonus games. So that's that for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the league table, guys. Ready for the league table? There we go. Let's get the league table up. Right, league table. Can you see the league table? I need to understand whether you guys can see the league table. I don't want to be told that they can't see it. If you can see the league table, the only person that has been affected and moved on the top places is Sai. Sai has gone up into 29th place. So Sai's only been playing the last 2 to 3 weeks, I think. But Simon has climbed. Simon has climbed up the table. So Sai has gone into 29th. Other people, there's not many people that have changed. Scott has gone up into 23rd. He's on equal points with Carl, but has a better. He's ahead of him for more correct predictions. David King Cobber has gone into 19th place. So David's 11 points this week have taken him up into 19th. Daz, a notable mention for you, Daz. Daz, you're in 21st. you're gaining points, and you will hit your 200. Alan will hit his 200 if he continues playing. So will James if he comes back to play. Carl, Neil could possibly hit 200 if they came back to play as well. The person who broke gold this week is Ellie. Ellie has broken the 200 point mark. So Ellie becomes the 18th player to hit 200 points. Ellie, 205 points. Well done, Ellie. And the biggest mover this week is there. Jess is the biggest mover this week. Jess is up into 6th place, sitting just behind Ronnie due to Ronnie having more correct predictions. But Jess has gone into 6th and opened up a 6-point gap on Ryan at the same time. So I think Jess got 11 points this week. Jess's 11 points have certainly pushed her up. She's up into 6th. As for the rest of the positions, they remain unaffected. The top 5 are unaffected. So Ronnie this week scored 5 points. Kuva scored 8. Vindaloo scored 7. Archer scored 6. And Jose scored 8. So it didn't affect anyone in the top 5. And that is where people stand for the week. So that's where you are for the week. So, question for you guys now is I'm going to look now, and I'll ask you guys now. Right, there is no football next week. There's no premiership next week. Right. So, being that there's no premiership next week, let me have a look. It's good that we've got 3 weeks off from the premiership in my eyes anyway. Right, next week is the weekend of the 28th. The weekend of the 27th. Right. So, next week, do we do bonus games? Do we do a bonus week of games throughout the whole of the world again? Your call. And if we do, how many are we doing? We're doing 20?
Right.
Right, I've got a yes from Drula, a yes from Jess, a yes from Ronnie, and a yes from Ryan. So 20 games, yeah? 20 games, alright? Right, Archer says 20, fine. Okay, so Archer's happy with 20. I just don't want to overstretch it for people to get bored. So, right, so next week then, we're saying we'll do a 20 game bonus week, right? You hear me out. The week after that, again, is another non-premiership week playing week. So, are we doing another 20 games bonus the week after? Is what I'm asking you. So, are we doing 2 sets of 20 games? Druda says fine by her. Because the premiership doesn't kick off till the 10th. But I have news for you. Right, so on Friday the 10th, so for the next 2 Fridays, we will do 2 bonus weeks of 20 games per week, right? So play with me. Next weekend, 20 games next Friday. The Friday after, 20 games again. So 2 bonus weeks. Then the Friday the 10th, it will be back to normal. So it will be 10 premiership games, hopefully, and 3 bonus games. That show will be on the 10th of April. On the Saturday, I fly to Spain to see my mum for a week. So I will be away till the following Friday. So that means that for that week, I will have to do the results for the week of the 10th, when we're back from the Premiership. I will have to do the results on Friday the 17th, right? And then I will have to do week 33, predictions for week 33, sometime just after on that Friday. Yeah? Are you all with me? Does that make sense to you? And then we'll be back to normal after that. So what I'll do then is I will set up the show for the next couple of Fridays to ensure that we get bonus games, and we'll do 20 games each per week. Oh, sorry, my eyes are just itching a little bit. Right, eyes back on again. Right, so yeah, so 20 games Friday and 20 games Friday after. I want to say thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in today. I would also like to say that if you could hit the like button on your way out, if you haven't done so already, then that'd be great. I think we've got up to 19 likes. We've got 23 people currently watching. I've got up to 20. To not 20 likes. Sorry, it's gone up to 20. Did I click like? No, I didn't. It's gone up to 21 because I've just liked my own stream. Right, I've just liked my own stream. So yeah. So what we'll do then is we will go Friday. I'll set it up. We will go again at 4 o'clock on Friday, and we'll do 20 games. Try and rattle through them. So please be on time. So people are watching this on playback, or if you tell your mates to be on time, because I play football on a Friday, and when we do 20 games, it does take a bit longer to do. It's fun, takes a bit longer to do, but it just means that I can get away for football in time. So I'd rather not do rollbacks if possible, because I want to get away and go and play football on Friday. But I will do the 20 on Friday. Give me some homework to do, because I'm going to have to find 20 games now. I may have to leave them up the stream on Good Friday. When's Good Friday? That must be the week after next then, Daz. Good Friday. It must be the week after next. It definitely ain't this Friday coming, Good Friday. So what we'll do is be careful. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to catch people out, because what I will do is I'm going to throw in some Friday predictions as well, possibly. And that will mean that, because we're going around the world, it will mean that some people may miss out and they won't count. Going around the world, like the first game at the weekend was from Suriname. It was 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and it meant the people that predicted before the Liverpool-Brighton game missed out on that, because that game had already finished. So if you're in and you're on time, all your predictions will count. If you miss it because of the timings and that, then you might miss out on some games. I will only put the scores in for the games that haven't kicked off. Alright? I hope that will make sense. But as I said, well done to everyone. Shemtam, a big shout out to you, Man of the Week. Well done. It looks like we're spreading the love of Man and the Woman of the Week, because we've had a fair few winners in recent weeks. No one's been running away with it, which is nice to see. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone. And with that, I'm going to love you and leave you lot, and I'm going to say that I'll see you guys Friday. Yeah? So take care, everyone. Thank you very much. See you all Friday. Hit the like on the way out. How's that one working out? Have I done something wrong there?
Tell, Cockerel, he's just a true guy. You'll have a true time. Tell, Cockerel, leave your troubles at the door. You know the game, you know the score. We're here to have fun, so holster that gun and read the writing on the wall. The predictions leak, done every week. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? Tell, Cockerel, he's just a chill guy. You'll have a chill time. Tell, Cockerel, Jose, wherever he is found, home or away. He always tips to win, throws the form book in the bin with a cheeky knowing grin. El Cockerel, he's just a chill guy, you'll have a chill time. El Cockerel. The Predictions League, done every week. It just goes on and on and on and on. Why do I always get it wrong? Every time I play along. El Cockerel. The show is so chilled, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at. El Cockerel. It just goes on and 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 on. Why do I always get it wrong? El Cockerel. The show is so chill, your time is well filled. If you want good friendly chat, then here's where it's at.